We're going back to Anaheim to the Natural Products EXPO West, which is kind of a curious part of our history because around our 1-year anniversary in 1992, I was really struggling trying to keep eTown going and trying to keep it all sort of moving forward. And we had launched our first season on NPR. We'd run out of cash. We didn't have any sponsors. We were having problems. Our board of directors was conflicted as to whether or not we should even keep eTown going.
I took time out to write to my old friend.
We had our show, we sold tickets, but we gave the money away, so it was a benefit. And we brought eTown into this community of people who are business people, but they're values-driven business people. And that began a long association for us with both the natural products industry and natural products expos, both east and west.
Live from Anaheim, California, it's eTown with this week's guest, Ziggy Marley, actor and
We were really excited to be invited back to Anaheim and reunite with this wonderful group of people who really share a common cause, and everybody's trying to do business in a sustainable and responsible way. And that's the bottom line.
We were approached by New Hope Communications, who produces the whole thing. They were interested in bringing eTown back, partly to kind of make a more obvious commitment to those core values. So it's both from the company's perspectives and from the producer's perspective that eTown somehow represents that early ethos of Natural Products EXPO.
I don't condemn, I don't convert. This is a calling, have you heard? Bring all the lovers to the forward. No one is gonna lose their soul.
You know, it's always interesting to do a show on the road. It's a little different experience than when we do our show at eTown Hall. And when I say we, I mean all of us, because it's definitely an ensemble effort between our crew, the recording guys, our cast, our band members, our guests. And we're kind of like a family, but at the same time, we're fish out of water, if you will. So we're at a foreign venue, and we're kind of having to reinvent things that are in place when we do it at eTown Hall. So it's a challenge, but it's also really exciting to do a road show because you're reaching a diverse and different audience live than we might hear in Boulder, Colorado.
The contract's a joke, but when you see smoke, you run toward the fire 'cause you must. They all called your name when the crash finally came and left you to pick up the dust. I saw you walking in silence down to the bridge, but nothing went over the side. So I guess to someone with your heritage, withdrawal like consent is implied. And it's true. No one else will do what you do. Volunteers of America, I'm calling you.
One of the things that really blew my mind is what a good bass player Amy is. I mean, she's really a great bass player. And by that I mean she was playing interesting bass lines that were both counterpoint to and, you know, rhythmically not aligned with or in unison with what she was singing. And as a bass player who sings, I can tell you that that's tricky. That's just something that takes time and practice, and she's really good at it.
For this particular show, we decided to focus on the importance of the public's right to know about GMOs. And so it was fitting to partner with a national campaign that's called Just Label It, and their co-founder, chairman, and spokesperson, Gary Hirschberg, joined us on the stage to tell us about the work that they're doing.
And with a lot of wonderful colleagues here, we decided that it was time to demand that our federal government give us the same rights as citizens that citizens in 64 nations around the world have. That is the right to know, the right for mandatory labeling of genetically engineered ingredients.
So it's a noble cause. It's one that we support. It was a natural sort of alliance between our two organizations. And we support Gary, we support Just Label It, and we were able to raise well over $100,000 in this event, which is pretty cool.
Thanks, Gary, for being here.
Thank you.
JustLabelIt.org.
Thank you.
The winner of this week's Achievement Award, Gary Hirschberg.
You know, and Ziggy acoustic was interesting too. You know, acoustic guitars, percussion, one backup vocalist, pretty sparse, no bass. You know, it was interesting.
I just keep that off my mind. People living on 24-hour clocks, but we're on a ride that never stops. Hey, Mr. B, the world changed, but you remain the same. And I wonder how you survive with the environment going down the drain.
Ziggy Marley was just a really natural addition to our lineup for this particular show because he too is concerned with sustainability.
We too have to look back on the earth and show that appreciation and that love.
He has a message of taking care of one another and taking care of the earth and just doing things in a way that's socially and environmentally responsible. And he just seemed like a perfect fit.
And me get together, so why can't you all just understand? An old tree still
Being in Anaheim, California, which is part of LA, of course there's a number of celebrities floating around. We were fortunate to be joined by an actor and also activist named Adrian Grenier. You might recognize his name from the years that he starred on the hit series Entourage.
Yeah, well, you know, I spent 8 years, 96 episodes promoting conspicuous consumption. Might as well try and balance the act a little and see what I can do for conscious consumption.
Adrian's a guy who actually took the time to educate himself almost accidentally. You know, he got exposed to a project, he got asked to participate on a project about whales, and learned a lot, and you know, became really engaged in that.
Meanwhile, thanks so much for stopping by. Congratulations on your success. Good luck with your projects.
Thank you.
Yep. Adrian Grenier.
Walked over the bridge in Milwaukee, past the statue of bombs in the dark, with the wind kicking in and the sparrows are running amok. And a woman, a friend to his pregnant, put your hand on her belly for love. And I laughed 'cause it's you, and I knew that you knew you were stuck. You can tell.
You know, eTown's mission is really about creating community. And the way you create community is you find something that you have in common. And then you celebrate that thing you have in common. In eTown's case, music is something that we have in common. We're not radically, you know, asking people to give up everything and become full-time activists. But we're reminding people who are part of this community that we're all connected. Literally, we are all connected. As residents of planet Earth, we are all connected. And that we can all do something to make things work better on behalf of all of us. The beautiful thing is that there are a lot of people who feel the same way I do, who appreciate music the same way I do, and appreciate these concepts, these ideas the same way I do. So we're just trying to stimulate the conversation, give them a little information, remind them that everybody can and does make a difference, and see what happens.
all we need is love. All we need is love. Let me say. All we need is love. Thank you very much. Good night, y'all.